Okay, hi, Lizzie here. I wanted to do a video about what we've been going through, but it has been virtually impossible to try to take a video and edit a video and talk about what we've been going through with Russell. So I'm just gonna go live and tell you what has happened over the past month. So, as you know, Russell has been dealing with eczema since he was 6 weeks old, and we've done everything under the sun. And with anything that you use with eczema, a lot of people find that it's a waiting game. So okay, you have a new cream, but now you have to wait and see if that new cream works. Or you found a new doctor and then you have to wait to get in to see that new doctor. We were on dupixent for a year, and I want to do a totally different video on what happened with dupixent because a lot of people have had really good results with it. And I'm not saying we didn't have really great results with it. He was able to be a total kid for a while. And everything was great. But I know that for us, we had some adverse reactions and our doctor told us to come off of it. So I'm sorry, my toddler put on my lipstick and now sorry, hang on. My 1-year-old found my lipstick in my purse, and in order for me to take it from her, she had to put it on me. Okay, so Russell was on dupixent for a year, and everything was going great. He had adverse reactions. I'll go into that in a different time. And then once he got off of it, it took about 3 months, and we're seeing everything come back. So now that it stinks to say that we're kind of back at square one with Russell. The first time that he played outside for I wanted it to be 30 minutes. It ended up being about 45 minutes. And so he came home, he ended up having an allergic reaction. His whole neck broke out, which for us, when his neck starts to flare up, it's not just like a contact dermatitis, it is something he's inhaled. Because when he ingests something and has an allergic reaction, he 9 times out of 10 has hives too. So for him to purely break out on his neck the way he was, it was a huge red flag that he had inhaled the pollen and not just it touch his skin. So we came home, he had a shower, he had a breathing treatment, we rubbed the creams on him. But it's been wild to contain his eczema. It's it didn't flare up for a year, so we're watching his whole system come back. But in March 12th, he started having extremely bad eczema flare up. And then by March 14th, I realized it was eczema herpeticum, and I posted a video on TikTok of the difference between his regular eczema in one picture and his eczema herpeticum in another picture, so you could see the major difference. And so we're sitting there, and I looked at my husband and I said, this is spreading really fast, it's blistery. We went and saw the doctor, we got him on a cyclovir. Unfortunately, the pharmacy only gave me a 5-day dose of a cyclovir, not 10 days like he needed to be on. But I think that was a blessing in disguise, because he ended up getting, I'm pretty sure, this rash you get after having eczema herpeticum. I'll post pictures of that later, because he's had eczema for 5 years and he has never once had this rash. And it was absolutely wild. I had a nurse friend send me what she thought it was, and he was like picture perfect of this paratyrus rat. I've never heard of it before, but I haven't been able to really post anything because he's needed like 24/7 care, or to be inside 24/7. And I don't know if you've ever had to entertain a 4-year-old, not even entertain, just, you know, make sure that when they dive off of the couch, they don't hurt themselves. But right now, it took from March 12th to April 12th, pretty much, for us to calm down and control the eczema flare that he had. Every time that it looked like we were about to break free and him be 100% healed, it would flare up again. And I had to use steroids to calm it down after 2 weeks of tacrolimus ointment not doing anything. The mupirocin wasn't doing anything. The metronidazole was not doing anything. Like, I didn't know how to help my son. We were keeping him inside, away from all of the allergens. We were giving him all the medicine that we could. He's on a probiotic. He's on vitamin D supplements to help his little immune system. He is on a multivitamin because, you know, he's a 4-year-old and he's a picky eater. But I haven't been able to update anything on Eczema about the difference between eczema herpeticum and our regular contact dermatitis. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to really talk about where we're at. So I wanted to do a live video to say Russell is doing okay. We're back to where he can spend about 15 minutes outside. And if he goes outside, you have to bring him straight in, wash his entire body, give him a breathing treatment, help him out with his rash that he could or could not have. His cheeks start to tell you, like, within 10 minutes of being outside, he'll have contact dermatitis starting at his ears. And if you don't get him in, it just starts to spread. And it's literally just like wildfire on his face. I can't even describe to you how fast the contact dermatitis hurts his eczema. And so we don't really go outside every day because of that. But he's a 4-year-old little boy who deserves to go outside and slide. So we bring him back in. We do that. In between the March 12th eczema herpeticum flare-up, I went to the pulmonologist and on the 23rd of March, and within 3 hours of coming home, I'm not sure what it was, but he broke out in hives all over his torso and his hiney. Started sneezing a bunch, so I gave him his Zyrtec. We put him in the shower. I watched him for about an hour. Nothing else flared. The hives went away. It took about an hour for the hives to go away. So I don't know what he accidentally ingested, but I know that didn't help the fact that we were trying to control the herpeticum flare-up. And now he's actually had an allergic reaction, which, if you know eczema and allergies, they go hand in hand. And now his body is just fighting everything. Then a week later, like, I can't make this stuff up. A week later, he ate his grapes like he usually does. And within like 30 minutes, his neck starts to hive up. He starts to have another allergic reaction to, it took me 3 hours later. I still don't know exactly what it was. Everything in our day was exactly the same. But here he is flaring up. So Zyrtec, again, immediately, a shower to wash off anything that he might have, breathing treatment to make sure that his airways are fine. And then, well, as I was giving him the Zyrtec, though, he slipped on a grape and he got it in his eyes. So that's where the shower came in, really, is because he got Zyrtec all in his eyes. So that was the next Wednesday. So now he's had 2 allergic reactions within a week, and you can rack your brain. And if you're a mom of kids with allergies, an eczema like contact dermatitis, you can seriously keep a food journal, you can do everything, and sometimes you still can't pinpoint exactly what it was, especially if you're like me, where my skin on my hands is gone because of the amount of times I wash my hands before I give him food. I wash everything. He has 2 separate pots. His sister and him don't share chairs. I wipe down y'all. The amount of things that I clean every day to make sure that he's safe from his allergies. But again, I talk about allergies because they affect his eczema, like they are directly related. So 2 nights later, I cannot make this up, I plug in my hair dryer and it explodes. So as a stay-at-home mom of 2, sometimes I only get to bathe when they're both asleep. So he's asleep in my bedroom and my hair dryer explodes. So now there's smoke everywhere. And I kind of like go blank, like, oh my God, I need to put out the fire, but it's still plugged into the wall. So I yank the hair dryer out of the wall. I run outside. I douse it in the hose. I put it in the garbage can. But now it's been about somewhere approaching 5 minutes, and all that smoke has been in my bedroom where my son is, who has asthma. And he starts to have an asthma attack. And so he has not had a real asthma attack. He might wheeze a little bit at night. He might cough a little bit when he struggles like with congestion of the pollen. Like think about regular allergies and congestion. But the fear in his eyes, y'all. So I gave him a budesonide. I give him an albuterol. He's complaining that he's cold. We watch him for 30 minutes. I'm a firm believer in timers. So like I time it 20 minutes. If he's still cold, if he's still struggling, then we call 911. And so he's breathing. He's not going blue. He's okay. We've given him what he needs. About an hour later, he's totally fine. I watch him sleep. But all of this happening off of dupixent, I think is part of the problem, is that for a year we were on dupixent and his IgE went from 12,000 to 1,000. For those of you that don't know, IgE, everybody has an IgE level. A normal adult like me has an IgE of 300. Meaning I can walk outside, and if like the pollen bothers me, you might sneeze once, but like you can take your dog on a walk and you're fine. You can pet your dog and you're fine. You can come home to a house you haven't swept in a week and you're fine. But my son's IgE is 12,000 on the worst day. It's 8,000 if he's not sick and just like a regular day. And then on dupixent, it took 10 months to get that to 4,000. And then finally after 12 months, it was 1,800, I think. 1,400 was the lowest his IgE has ever been. But this is just a real-time catch-up of like, I started Eczema. I wanted to help people with eczema. I wanted to reach out to moms who have kids with eczema. And then this month, my kid has just needed me 24/7, and I've had to be on, it when it comes to Russell. Again, he's 4. We've been dealing with this since he was 6 weeks old. But yeah, I am trying to navigate what else we can do. So the next big step for us is immunology. We've wanted to see an immunologist for a while, but while we were on dupixent, it seemed like we had found the answer to his issues, and that is not true. And then in the meantime, we're going to go back to see Dr. Estrada. He's an infectious disease doctor in our area, and he was the first one to really help Russell with his eczema herpeticum. But yeah, that's just a little catch up on what's been going on in our world. And I will have some more actual eczema mom content about what we use, what's been helping us, what doesn't help us, and more about his allergies too. I haven't actually got to touch on how his allergies play into his eczema yet. And for us, that's 50% of the eczema picture. Is like, oh, he's allergic to grass. So if he walks outside, he touches grass, he flares up. He pets a dog, he flares up. And I know a lot of people, when their child comes down with eczema, or they're an adult that all of a sudden is having eczema, people are like, I've never had allergies before, or I don't want to prick my son. And I don't think you should prick kids under a certain age either. But I've always encouraged people to get an allergy test, because if you are allergic to something and you try all of these things and try 30 different creams and they're not working, then you haven't reached the root. The amount of people that have success with eczema once they remove dairy or remove gluten for a little bit, and not remove it indefinitely, just remove it for a week, remove it for 3 months, and all of a sudden they're healed and everything is fine. More power to you. Super excited for you. So glad that worked. But also that's not us. It did help, but it didn't completely get rid of everything. What else did I want to catch everybody up on? Eczema flare up in March just finally got healed. Okay. Another thing we've been dealing with is just the contact dermatitis when it comes to clothes. Okay. Buying new clothes for Russell is not easy. It is super hard, because if I buy them from somewhere that has put anything on the clothes, these sweet people think that washing the clothes and then hanging them up is good. That's fantastic, but it's actually really bad for Russell. I have to put the clothes in a soak, and this last pair that I got, I soaked, for no lie, over and over, cold water bath and vinegar, wring out. Okay, they still smell bad. New water, wring out, new water, constantly stripping. I stripped them for almost 5 days. And I was like, well, let's try it. So I'll wash them, I dry them, I try them. And within 5 minutes, my son comes up to me and he's itching. And so I'm like, all right, let's try it one more time. Because I have paid a pretty penny for these pajamas because I want them to last. They also have to be a certain type of material for my son. And so I stripped them again. And you can strip clothes in baking soda and vinegar. And I do that with all of his clothes every week to strip out all of the creams. Mostly shea butter. I don't know if you know what shea butter, but it is super thick. And once I put his clothes on over it, there's just a film of shea butter in the bathtub when I'm done stripping his clothes. So anyway, have the pajamas. It's obviously some type of softener that I can't get out of them. So I try them again, and I don't tell him anything. I'm just like, let's just try your new jammies. Yay. Put him on him again. Within 10 minutes, he's coming up to me. And not only is he itching, but now I have to bathe him. So now I've got these pajamas that I'm going to try to sell on Marketplace, I guess. I don't know. He still needs new pajamas, but it's one of those things with our eczema, fragrances, man. Fragrances really get him. We have been fragrance free since December of 2021. And that means there have been no candles in my house. There are hardly any essential oils. I quit using essential oils when he was 6 months old. And the diffuser, that was gone. They said, oh, he's got really bad eczema. He's coughing through the night. We're done. But no fragrances in my laundry, no fragrances in our soap. I've got a basket of lotions that I got for my wedding in 2020 that have just been sitting there underneath the sink, and I've got to get rid of them. They're so bad. They probably need to be thrown away. But the fragrance thing is very real if you are an eczema person. You've got to get rid of it. Like all fragrances across the board, anything in a fabric, anything in a spray. I don't think I realized how crunchy that his eczema was going to make me. But like I came home, threw out everything underneath the sink, and you can clean everything in your house with alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, or vinegar, or baking soda, or borax. And you have to be careful with borax, sure. But for real, the amount of things that I clean in this house with those products alone, obviously not mixed, please don't mix them, is wild. But it's just not the fragrances in the laundry detergent that bother his eczema. But it has been super annoying to try to find clothes for him lately, because you have to strip them. And even just brand new clothes, like I got him a brand new little shirt from H&M. It's linen. I stripped it twice and it doesn't bother him, but they obviously don't wash anything in it, but you still have to strip it a couple of times just from it being in a warehouse and dry it. And then you play this waiting game, like, okay, I put on new clothes, and now you wait. And I just kind of wait on him to either come up to me and it be okay, or come up to me and it not be okay. And then you just start the process all over again. What else since March? I was doing so good posting videos of everything, and then as my pediatrician says, is he needs 24/7 care. If you don't really know what allergies will do to a family, the reason he truly does need like somebody 24/7 is not just because of his asthma, his allergies, and his eczema, and the fact that he's, again, a 4-year-old little boy who likes to jump on everything. When you're allergic to the top 14, and that's a lot of food. You say it's 14, but it's really like 14 categories. You know, it's dairy, it's eggs, it's wheat, soy, sunflower oil. God, that one will get you. If it's not the soy that's in everything, the sunflower oil will get you. He can't have peas. He can't have oats. He can't have barley. He can't have, the easiest way to put it is he can't have anything in a package. And some of the things that don't have any of those labeled on the package have a may contain statement. And because he's anaphylactic for 6 of the top 8 allergens, you really can't play around with a may contain statement. Like a may contain statement that says it may contain milk and eggs and tree nuts would like kill my kid. So that's a no. Great. So we have a specific like menu for him. And so if I'm not actually doing something that helps his eczema, like mopping the floor again, or dusting, or getting rid of something that's collected dust, if I am not soaking his clothes and washing his clothes, or washing the sheets, or doing something, I'm cooking for him, because he can't have anything pre-cooked. In his short 4.5 years, there's actually only one other person that is even allowed or brave enough to cook for him. I thought about that the other day. I'm the only person who's ever fed my kid, and that's okay. But like, you have to be super careful about any cross-contamination in a kitchen. And now with a 1-year-old that can eat everything, she can eat everything. Peanut butter off of a spoon, all the milk in the world, it's fine. But I have to be just really diligent of, okay, she eats something while he naps, or she's ate something and now I have to wash her hands. She eats something and I just totally change her clothes. She still sits in her high chair when she wants to sit in her high chair. But it is super difficult to actually give one everything. knowing it could really hurt the other, and she has no concept of that. So that keeps me pretty busy 3 or 4 times a day when they want to eat. For any moms that might be watching this or watch this later, or family members, caregivers, whoever you are that have a child that has specific allergies and another child or children that do not have allergies, what I do is for breakfast, they pretty much get the same thing. For snacks that they like to eat not in the high chair, they pretty much get the same thing. But I can't avoid allergens completely with her, so there's at least twice a day where when we both sit down to actually eat, I'll give her an allergen. And I have to sit there the whole time, make sure she doesn't fling it anywhere, back her high chair up if she does start to fling it somewhere. But that's going to be something we continue to have to navigate, because she'll get there, she'll learn. Like Russell can list off everything he's allergic to now, and he's 4.5. He'll let you know real quick what he can and cannot have, and we've had to teach him that. We haven't really taught him to fear these things. We've just taught him to know, like, they will make you sick. You can't have them. Can't have those certain foods, but it keeps me pretty busy. But for right now, I just wanted to update everybody on what we're doing and try to get some other good tip videos out soon for eczema and on my YouTube for eczema, because I know bath time routines are really helpful for those. And again, the way I strip my clothes, I think is already on the TikTok, but not the YouTube. And then we're going to have a whole video come out about eczema herpeticum, unfortunately. But thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. I don't know how to go unlive. This was my first live session, so thanks for stopping by. But now I have no idea